Good afternoon, builders. Today, we're talking about how to build a WordPress website. If you want to learn how to build a business website like this one, and you're curious about how to build a business website with WordPress, you're in the right place. Today, I'm going to show you how to build a free WordPress website for small business. Working in WordPress.com, I'm going to show you the basics. Using my faux account Copernicus cameras, I'm going to demonstrate how to build a homepage, replace your hero image, and refine your top menu navigation. I'll be adding bonus material, including how to modify the blog posts and make them shine on the homepage. Lastly, link your first lead magnet. If you don't know what a lead magnet is and the magic it can bring for your business, make sure to subscribe to my channel and join me Friday, where I share ideas on the best lead magnet for your small business. If you're in the chat, say hello. If you're catching this on replay, type #TeamBuilder in the comment section. Okay, if you're here, let me know where you're from. So let's start the show. Hi, I'm Lisa Stewart, founder of Build Your Own Small Business and Build Your Own Money Message. I help STEAM entrepreneurs like you build products that sell, connect with your audience, and build your business from your workbench. Where in the world are you watching from? Let me know in the chat. Me, I'm coming to you from snowy/sunny Seattle. Let me know in the chat how far along you are on your website. Meanwhile, I'm going to take a sip of water here. Okay, I've got a tip. Please chat and leave comments. Hey, Andrew. Because if you've heard me say it once, you'll hear me say it multiple times. Leaving comments creates a breadcrumb trail back to your YouTube channel. Even if you're not making videos, you want to build a community of your own, and you can start by participating with meaningful comments. If you want to know more about that, check out my earlier video called How to Set Up Your YouTube Channel Account. Watch all the juicy details there. Meanwhile, I've been designing and coding business websites since 1997. As a designer, I like to say I learned on the board. Learning print first, like logos and layouts for magazines and books. When the interwebs was new, I then learned how to wield the power of immediate gratification. You know, communicating by code, like this guy. But building a website is no small feat. Just like designing a book, designing a website involves a lot of interconnected tasks. Developing a professional grade website is a big undertaking. It can be maddening with so many moving parts and steps, much like wrangling feral kittens. This is why I've got a process to wrangle those feral kittens. I mean, moving parts. Okay, there are 5 steps to the web development process. Phase 1, definition. Phase 2, design. Phase 3, development. Phase 4, deployment. And Phase 5, maintenance. So let's talk about definition. Definition includes understanding your site goals, gathering your business requirements, and building a project plan. Phase 2, design, includes creating a sitemap, developing wireframes, user testing, putting together a content plan, establishing the look and feel, and getting input from your stakeholders. Phase 3 is your development phase. This includes producing comps, content development, media development, and building the website with code and style. Phase 4 is your deployment. This includes quality assurance, meaning we have to review and test all the parts and pieces with a fine-tooth comb. Spelling, grammar, calls to actions, and links that are working properly. And Phase 5, maintenance. Making sure that your website is being updated with the updates provided by your ISP, your web host, and then maintaining any plugins, content, and other changes necessary for the life of your business and your website. Today, it's my objective to show you how to build your own website on WordPress.com. It's going to be a high-level overview, just enough to get you up and running. Later in another video, I'll do a deep dive on things that you'll want to manage on the back end and in your dashboard. So, lucky for you, you don't need to know HTML or other high-tech programming languages. Working in WordPress using their ready-made templates will help you build your website. Like these. The reason I currently use WordPress to build my websites is because I want to concentrate on selling my products, not coding and managing my site. For me, managing my WordPress sites comes easy, but I think that's because I've had the luxury of history and experience of coding websites by hand and managing large projects like intranets for large companies. Depending on how tech savvy you're feeling, just note that sneaky landmines may get you into trouble. As you follow me along on this journey, you may determine that's too much for you, and there's no shame in that. If you need further help, let me know. I help entrepreneurs build their websites. Today, I want to show you how to build a free website using WordPress.com. First, I have a question for you. What do you want your website to do for you? As a small business owner, what's the primary function of your website? Do you want it to show, sell, educate, inform, or entertain? This will help define your website layout. I like to ask these questions to my clients because I like to build in longevity. You may not want to sell today, but you may consider it next month. If you're working with a web designer for your small business website, your focus should be on what should be done on your website, not diving into how things should be done. How things are done are fully dependent on design and coding principles that your web designer has experience with. The layouts are different based on the outcome that you want your customer to achieve as they're cruising through your site. For instance, if you want to inform your customers, is your website a news site like the BBC or National Geographic? Or you might want to entertain your customers as a comedian or a band, so the layout would look fundamentally different. As a product developer, your layout will look different still. Your website may showcase a custom product or contain a shopping cart option. Another design and development principle is creating layouts using flowcharts, the wireframes and sitemap to help your customer navigate to the pages they need. These layouts help the customer efficiently navigate to your product page to learn more. If you're just getting started on WordPress.com basic site, you shouldn't have to worry about flowcharts for just a few pages. Now, this next section is about what platform you want to develop your website. Easy for us. We've already made that choice with WordPress. Otherwise, why are you here? Wouldn't you rather be somewhere else? Okay, let's sort the difference between WordPress.com versus WordPress open source. First, they are two different platforms. When you choose to work with WordPress, you know that you're in great company. Many large brands use WordPress like the New York Times, NBC, and even TED Talks. Knowing which is which will help you choose the right platform for your business needs. WordPress.com is hosted by WordPress. So, what are some of the advantages? It's great for hobby bloggers and those just getting their feet wet with blogging. You get up to 3 gigabytes of free space for your media. After that, you have to upgrade to a paid plan, but that's just pennies. Personal plans start at $48 a year, granting you 6 gigabytes of storage. The advantage to starting on WordPress.com is that you don't have to worry about hosting, security, backups, or software updates ever. They take care of all of that for you. WordPress.com hosting service has 5 plans, from free to VIP, and an assortment in between. If you're not sure what's right for you, you can always bump up to a paid plan in the future. Building a base website on WordPress.com will be important if you want to build a larger site using the WordPress open source software. This will allow you to connect with plugins and other assorted components to build out your web presence. So even if you're not planning on building a website here on WordPress.com, at least you've established your WordPress.com web presence. Okay, what are some of the disadvantages? Using it as a free blogging website, you'll have ads placed on it and you don't make any money from it. Upgrading to a paid plan will eliminate that. You're not allowed to sell ads on your website. You can't upload plugins. You can't upload custom themes. You're restricted to their stats, meaning you can't add Google Analytics to track. You can't run a membership site, and it comes with a branded domain name. Much like this one, for instance, copernicuscameras.wordpress.com. And this is fine if you're just using it as a home base to launch your larger professional website. Lastly, you can't integrate any kind of payment gateways unless you switch to the WordPress e-commerce plan. And that doesn't preclude you from linking it with your Square Up account. Okay. Having said that, you can use all of those things if you upgrade to a paid program, depending on the features that you want. To unlock some of the more advanced features, you have to be on the business plan. Now, the advantages to the WordPress open source is that WordPress requires you to host your own website. Personally, I use SiteGround to host all of my websites. And by the way, if you want to use my link in the description, you get a discount and a free trial on your hosting. How awesome is that? You're free to do anything you want in your own hosted website, from customizing it with third-party themes, selling your products directly from your website, and so much more. You own your own website and all its data, which is different from other platforms like Shopify or Squarespace. Should one of those go down tomorrow, you've lost all of your content. This is why I'm a firm believer to own your own home domain. Ooh, getting dry here. So if you're just joining us, let me know in the chat where in the world you're watching from. I would love to know. I'm Lisa Stewart, founder of Build Your Own Small Business and founder of Build Your Own Money Message. I help STEAM entrepreneurs connect with their customers, build products that sell, and build their business from their workbench. Now, let's get into the disadvantages of hosting your own website. There are very few, actually, to hosting your own website with a free open source framework like WordPress. It starts to get a bit pricey when you start adding the bells and whistles, and you have to be responsible for updates and backups. But it's worth it in the end. Again, if you need help building your website, and as your personal WordPress expert, I can help you build the website of your dreams. Meanwhile, let's get started on WordPress.com. Are you ready? Let's get started. Okay, for transparency purposes, I have recorded this next section because I can't count on the interwebs being stable, and I don't want to forget anything important. I will be here in the chat with all of you, so don't forget to chat, and if you're watching this during the replay, type #TeamBuilder in the comments. Okay. Okay, let's set up your account. Mouse over to your WordPress.com in your browser. Choose your email address, username, and password. As you can see, the username is a unique WordPress.com address. I've chosen copernicuscameras.wordpress.com. Next, choose your extension. WordPress asks us to choose an extension to our preferred domain name. It's smart and it sees camera in our name, and evidently there's an extension called .camera, along with .com, .net, .org, .blog, and .club. For now, I prefer to just go with the free account. Next, pick a plan. In step 3, WordPress is asking me to pick a plan. As I mentioned before, there are at least 4 plans to choose from. Personal, that starts at $4 a month, Premium, Business, and E-commerce. I'm going to head to the top and start with a free site. Woohoo! We've arrived at the dashboard for Copernicus cameras. Immediately, you can see to the left where you can make all kinds of customizations. You can make plan updates, design customizations, get into your tools, manage other properties in your free blog. Another thing I like about WordPress.com is that it shows you how long each task is going to take. So if you want to name your site, it will take less than 1 minute. On the right side, you can see all the steps to set up your site. It also indicates what you've accomplished. You can see I've already confirmed my email address. Here, I'm going to visit the site to see what the front side of my new blog looks like. It's the default theme, and you can choose from plenty of themes that you think might align well with your business model. Show, sell, educate, inform, or entertain. If you want to explore the new themes, you can do that under the Design tab. Our current theme is Hover, and for this demonstration, that's where we'll stay. Let's visit the site. When you first arrive, pop-ups will appear and act as guides showing you around. The home page is laid out nice and fresh with what we call the hero shot, a background image with title and call to action. Blog articles are found at the bottom, and the top menu that includes Home, Blog, About, and Contact. Click the menu items at the top to see the subsequent pages look within your new theme. Regarding the About page, I would very much like to see you share who you are, what you do, and who you do it for. Please don't hide like many entrepreneurs. This is the first level of trust you can provide with your customer. If your customer doesn't know who's running the blog or website, they will hesitate to do business with you. This is an invisible wall that many entrepreneurs create for themselves. I don't want that for you. Site title and tagline. I'm adding the title and tagline to my website. You can see that WordPress is thinking about it as it goes white to help make changes on the fly. Don't stress about it. Just make sure that in the end you save your changes after each task. Navigation menu. A long-standing usability feature in website design is clicking on the logo that takes you back to your homepage. For whatever reason, many themes' top navigation, the menu, also includes the word home to get you back home. This is redundant. Visitors rarely click this and it just clutters up your top navigation menu bar. So, I would recommend removing that. Because we're product developers, I'm going to add a new menu item called Products. At this point, your new menu name is going to pop up at the end and you can move it to the head of the list. Although I found this quite fussy, so just hang with it until you can get your menu items in the arrangement you want. Finally. Okay, save your changes. Always be saving. Okay, homepage hero photo. Let's replace the hero image. I've already uploaded my preferred photo that has a camera that I've blurred. Blurring helps to add more contrast for the visually impaired. It only takes a millisecond for the brain to decide whether or not it wants to stay on the page. Let's encourage your customers to stay a while. In this hero section, let's create a call to action. You can easily replace the type, modify the color and block section. I'm going to remove this particular block section. Let's change the text and color on the button. Make sure to check the background color as well as the text color in both the Styles section and the Color Settings and Background Color section. They coordinate and allow you to have a white outline around your button that matches your text color. Now, let me show you how I changed my default colors to my Copernicus camera's brand colors. Colors and background. Inside colors and background, you can see they have 3 default colorways for you to choose from. Feel free to scroll through these palettes to see how they interact with the web page. I would recommend that you go with a lighter colorway so that your customers can read dark text on a light background. That's best for usability and people with low contrast sight challenges. Because I've created a style tile for the Copernicus cameras, I've pulled my colors from that. My hex codes are all included, so it will be pretty easy to adopt. WordPress allows me to transfer my hex codes into the little box beneath the gradient color palette. Presto! Okay, homepage. Let's go back to the homepage a moment and take a look at the rest of the components. Here you can see I've got example blog posts in 3 columns. I've been able to adopt my brand colors into the headers of each. There are some advanced settings here that I'm not going to get into today. You can see where I can include borders if that's what I want. But there's enough gutters between the text blocks that will provide the framing around each block if you want. That's completely up to you. Let's add categories and tags. Categories and tags are going to help your customers find you and the specific topics they're looking for. So what's the difference between categories and tags, you ask? Good question. Think of categories as broad topics and tags as narrow and specific. I'm heading into my main dashboard. Over to the left side, you'll see a section called Manage. Inside Manage, you'll find the subcategory called Settings. Click that. You'll find 4 different settings. Head to the one labeled Writing. Under Writing, you will find subcategories called Categories and Tags. Sorry for the interruption. I need to make a very important announcement. Do you see this specific element called Uncategorized? It often goes unnoticed by many small business owners and does absolutely nothing for your SEO. When you begin to fill out your categories, rewrite this one as I'm doing here. It makes you look more professional. Now, where was I? That's where we're going to add ours. For instance, categories would include names like equipment and classes. Tags would include more specific topics inside those categories. Think of the first category, equipment. Examples include camera bodies, lenses, flash, and lighting. For the second category, classes, our quick examples would include mountain and ocean. You get the idea. Now these will be available to us when we create posts. What's the difference between pages versus posts, you ask? Yet another great question. Think of pages being static. One-off pages like your products or about page or privacy policy. Posts are what bring life to your website. Posts are where you add updates about where your customers can find you at shows, if and when you're adding classes, any scheduling updates, any specials that you're running. These can be found in chronological order and also show Google that your website is still active. The interesting point about posts is that they also encourage conversation. They have a built-in comment tool along with tracking and pingbacks. Blog posts. As tempting as it is, we can't change the title of our blog post up here. We have to scroll all the way to the bottom to find the word edit. Okay, I'm adding my title and I'm now going to add my feature image. Update. In this section called Permalink, I pasted the title of the blog post so that it would be SEO friendly. It no longer says example post 3. It's replaced with meaningful words that my customers will find. Because who is going to look for example post 3, right? The categories I added show up here. The default was to check equipment. Instead, I am checking the classes box. That only makes sense. If you need it, you can also add a new category. I'm also adding tags and an excerpt that will show up on the homepage. For show and tell purposes, I also copied and pasted this information inside the blog post, just to demonstrate how easy it is. Okay, blog page. On the blog page, let's replace the hero image with something a little more meaningful like this spider silhouette. I'm also going to add another title inside it for SEO purposes. We can reformat this title to our heart's content with alignment and linking. Now, how do we get our blog images to appear on the homepage? You've probably noticed we don't have any gorgeous photos here representing our blog posts. They're the featured photos we add inside each blog post, but we still need to allow them to be present on the homepage, and we can add them one of 2 ways. As I edit this block, the editor bar reveals itself on the right. Notice how I'm turning the display feature image to reveal the spider photo above the blog title. I can choose how big the featured item is going to be as I scroll from thumbnail size to medium and then to large. I can also decide if I want to display the post content, author name, and date. As you can see, I've modified the last 2 blog posts. I've changed the title and added photos. I kept the text, but what is showing are the excerpts from the blog posts included earlier. Social media accounts. If you are establishing any social media accounts, this is where you can include your links. They auto-magically show up at the bottom of your page in the footer. Colloquially, it's called the kitchen junk drawer. The key is to match your social media accounts with your business name as closely as possible. You don't want to make it difficult for your customers to find you. If you do have to change the name, make it easy for them. I've had to do that on a couple of my accounts just because the length of my name wouldn't fit the character count. So just keep that in mind. Customizing your blog footer with widgets. There is so much opportunity to make your new web presence flexible and interactive. I'm adding categories as a widget so that it supports findability via SEO. A calendar and location that includes the local market where you can regularly find me with a phone number and dates. Of course, this is all hypothetical, so don't try finding me at the local farmer's market. Okay, let's link your lead magnet. You can link your lead magnet in at least 3 different ways using different methods from free to paid. The Bootstrapper's way is set up your button to send an email to you and you reply to that email with your lead magnet attached. Another way is to set up your email account with a new signature so that all you have to do is respond with 1 click to your recipient. And lastly, you can send it instantly from your email provider like ConvertKit. I have a discount link in the description box below. If you're curious about lead magnets and which one is the best for you, be sure to subscribe and whack that bell like a kitten. Why? To get notified when I go live decoding the magic of lead magnets this Friday during my live at 5. Okay, now we are ready to publish. Click the link that reads Launch Your Site. WordPress wants me to purchase an extension, either Copernicus.camera or CopernicusCamera.com. They even offer me a chance to link a domain I already own. But at this time, I want to scroll right down to the bottom to skip purchase. WordPress is also showing me the 4 paid plans to choose from, but head up to the top near the header that reads Getting Ready to Launch a Website, and you will find a link that says Choose a plan or start with a free site. I'm going to click Start with a free site for now. Another upsell by WordPress on their congrats page is to register more extensions. Skip down to the bottom where it reads No thanks, I'll stick with copernicuscameras.wordpress.com. Hooray! My site is now published. Isn't this gorgeous? And it didn't take much time at all, and I'm guessing you could accomplish this in less than 30 minutes, provided you have all of your content ready to upload. This includes text copy, photographs, and lead magnet. Congratulations! You've learned how to set up your own WordPress.com site. You've replaced your hero image, you've refined your top menu to add product page, you've modified your blog post and added their feature image to shine on the home page, you've added widgets, and finally you've connected a lead magnet at least 3 different ways. I hope this inspires you to build your own small business website. Welcome back. What did you all think? Do you have any questions? Let me know in the chat. I know that was a lot of information, but I just want to make sure that you can get up and running with your vital information, as well as your lead magnet, which is very important when it comes to pull marketing. So if you have any questions in the chat, let me know. Meanwhile, if you're starting a new business or you've been established a while, grab your copy of the Small Business Brand Toolkit to get started. This is a free small business brand toolkit that I start out with all of my clients as a system that contains everything they need to know to get up and running. So make sure to grab that link in the description box below. Anyhow, I want to thank you so much for hanging out with me today to learn how to build your new business website on WordPress.com. Great things take time, so keep building.